Get your name on the front of these new books and let B know. 2 questions about Will. If you haven't heard much about Will, just right. I have not heard of William Shakespeare, and we're going to talk about him today. Maisha's working on her do now, so Deidre's working on her do now. Louisiana Tech got me too. Got your full attention in one. Got Mark, got Michelle ready, got Amari. 2 questions. If you don't know much about Will, that's fine. That's what we're here for today. If last year or any year you've read a play by William Shakespeare, raise your hand. Amari, what did you read last year?
Romeo and Juliet.
If you read Romeo, give me a slap. Oh, that's my name, this one. Romeo and Juliet, yeah, it's one of his most famous plays. What do we know about him so far? We're going to learn more today. Mike, what do you know so far, and then Deshauna?
He was a famous writer that wrote tragic plays.
He was a famous writer. Did you say he wrote tragic plays? Definitely. We're going to read a very tragic play. Spoiler alert, it is not a happy play. Deshauna, what do you know?
I was about to say he was a famous writer.
Famous writer, and we're going to find out the most famous of all time. But first, we got some notes. We're on page 6, writer's notebooks. New writer's notebooks, so it's a good day. Page 6. What are we doing today? Sarah, please tell us. And Will's been hanging out with us in the classroom all year. Mark, where's he been? Over there. My favorite poster. We're going to talk about him today. At the end of this unit, we will not have a test. We'll have an essay. We're on page 6. And that essay question is going to be open notes, open writer's notebooks, and it's going to be asking you this question. I want to know, did what happened to Macbeth, and I'm going to tell you it's not good, did what happened to him happen because of fate or free will, because of the witch's prophecy, or the choices? Before we get into vocab, looking at this last little chunk, fate or free will. If you know what fate means, or if you know what free will means, I want to hear from you. What does that mean? Give me a hand up. Fate or free will? Michelle, what are you thinking?
Free will is a result, is your decision.
Okay.
And fate is something you can't control.
So your decision versus something you can't control. Vocab for today. First word is prose. Prose is just ordinary writing. No rhythm. If you read a poem, that's not prose, that's poetry. Prose is just ordinary writing. A lot of vocab. We got 4 more words for today. If your hand's ready to fall off, I'm sorry. Stay with me. All right, all the ladies in the room are going to read our next definition. Legacy is what? Ladies, tell me. If your great-great-great-grandfather, Mr. Ricard, from 200 years ago, has passed his name down to you, that is your legacy. If he gave you $1,000, even better. That's the legacy that came from the past. Legacy is a noun. Avaricious is just a really fancy way of saying what, Marcus? Greedy. If you take 4 helpings at lunch, you might be called avaricious. If you've ever had a moment of being avaricious in your life, give me a snap. I did over Christmas break. I ate a lot of helpings of ham and turkey. I was a little avaricious. It's an adjective. You're just a little bit greedy. It happens sometimes. Last word is a word that you probably won't hear today, and that's okay, but we're going to need it when we get into Macbeth. The word is fame. And nobody nobody says anything about thanes anymore. DeMarcus is not the thane of waterproof. That wouldn't happen. Thane is like a prince or a king. Technically what it is, you're a duke. And that is a rank right underneath prince. So you got the king, you got the prince, you got the thane. And the only reason we're talking about that is because Macbeth is going to be promoted to thane. How do you say noun? Yeah, Precious.
So, if
Thane
is under prince, is that like you said, is that like duchess under princess or something?
Yes. So the duchess is the woman.
Okay.
So it's going to, Lord Macbeth will be the thane, and Lady Macbeth is like the duchess is the lady thane. Good question. William Shakespeare, my favorite William that ever was born, and this is crucial. He was not American, which is sad. I wish he was, but he wasn't. He was born in England in Stratford-upon-Avon. It's a fun word to say. Get your British accent going. Stratford-upon-Avon. Malik, where is he born? Give it a shot. Yeah, we'll see a map in a moment. Not in the States. We cannot claim that he was British. In 1564, a couple years ago. More than a couple. 1564. And he wrote so many plays, so many sonnets. We're going to round up, we'll say almost 40 plays and 154 sonnets, which is a type of poetry. 154. We're going to read some of them. Starting with Shakespeare, read that for me, please, Amari. Shakespeare's one.
Shakespeare is one of the most famous writers to ever live and has been called the greatest writer of the English language.
He is, it's true, I believe it, greatest writer in the English language. I buy it, I love him. And we're going to find out why today. So quick preview, and we got a mini bio, and this mini bio is about 4.5 minutes long. It's a video. And what I want you to do while we're watching this video, I want you to think. We got the basic facts here, but there's going to be more that we find out about Shakespeare: when he dies, what's up with his family, who does he marry, where does he go to school. And I want you to pick 2 things that are interesting to you, and I want you to write them down. Top of page 7. We got 3 short articles we're going to read. We're going to do the first one whole class, then we're going to break into groups, then you're going to do some on your own. The first one starts at Will, and it is a biography about his life. Thank you, V. Thank you, Precious. And that math doesn't really add up. If he's born in 1592, dies in 1596, I don't think he's quite 11. We won't get hung up on that. 3 questions. We're going to do them together, but I want to give you guys some time to write. When and where was Will born? Write it down. When and where? Give me the date. Give me the place. DeMarcus has got it. Matia's got it. George is getting it. Lily's got it. When and where is Will born? Last one. Shakespeare's got a family. He's got a wife. He's got some kids. Tell me about them. Who are they? Who does he marry? Who are his kids? Write it down. John and Mary Shakespeare got mom and dad. Then Shakespeare gets married. He gets hitched. A little bit scandalous. Michelle, who does Shakespeare get married to? Yeah, who's 2 months pregnant, so they have a quick wedding. And then they have kids. Nightia, how many kids do they have? 3 kids. We got that older daughter, Susanna. Alante, who are the other 2? Judith and Hamlet, we got some kids. Judith and Hamlet, they are twins. Now, we got this background. We know about his life. We know about his schooling. We know that he did not go to Virginia Tech, which is a shame. We're going to talk briefly about some of his plays. We're going to talk about his legacy. Then we're going to start the play, and I'm excited. We're going to move into groups, but don't move yet. When you get to your group, you are going to have maybe 5 or 7 minutes to read at the top of page 7 and over on to page 8. William Shakespeare, his works, and there are 2 questions and an underline that you need to do. Groups for this class are... Alright, timer is on for 6 minutes. 6 minutes to read and answer. Let me know when your group is done. Group up here has already started. Amara's already going.
Perhaps such places
It's a book reading about altering the history of Western civilization. This game includes 3 plays 154.
Alright, Louisiana Tech, pause what you're doing. Pencils down, eyes on me too. Got your full attention, mouths closed, and blood pressure's ready to go. Got an IT ready to go, got Irvin's eyes. I know your faces aren't all to me, turn yourself so you can see me. 3 questions, 2 that you had to answer, 1 that you had to underline. Demarcus, how many plays? We rounded up to 40, but how many did he write? We rounded up to 40, how many did he actually write? 4? More than 4. He wrote 4 that, but those are his most famous. Most famous there, how many did he write? 38, Demarcus, how many? 38. Yeah. So those are his 4 most famous, fine. 38 plays. Almost everybody in here underlined the same sentence as your piece of evidence for why Will is the best that there ever was. If you got something underlined, raise your hand. And Mari, tell me, what did you underline with your group?
Shakespeare was the most popular playwright of the world.
Most popular playwright. He was a celebrity. People went to his plays to watch him because he was the coolest and best that there was. Good job with your groups. You have 1 minute to be back in your desk with your desks back how they were. 3 or 4 more minutes on this. Eyes back on me too. Direct attention in 1. Thank you, Sarah. So this always confused me. People say, okay, he created all these words. He created thousands of words. So how do you just come up here and I say, we're not going to call this a smartboard anymore. We're going to call this a smalala. And it was like, okay, yeah, okay, great. Like, how do people know what that means? So how does he do it so that people understand that he's actually talking about smartboard and they know what his words mean? How does he create his words? Let's get some hands. How does he do it? Sarah, start us off. So we got this idea of prefix and suffix, yes. And there's something else. Michelle, add on for us.
Makes words with background and place them specifically where they can be understood.
So we got this background language. So if I'm going to say, okay, I know you guys think this is a whiteboard, but we're going to start calling it board of white. Okay, that makes more sense. We get that, okay, board of white, fine. We switched the order. We got that background. We can get on board with that. But just saying, okay, we're going to call this a smalala, that doesn't mean anything. He uses what already is there and he plays with it. We got a whole bunch of examples. If you got an example, I want to see a hand. Example of a word that Shakespeare created. Example of a word. Chris, give me one.
Swagger.
Oh, the best one. If you had swagger, give me a snap. It's the best word. 500 years ago, Shakespeare was the coolest. The Deja, was that yours? Last thing for today. George is ready to go. Mike's just so ready. We are going to start the plan. I'm going to explain to you how we do it. We're reading scene 1 today. Act 1, scene 1. As we read, if you're not Maisha or Sarah or Precious or Michelle, you're still watching, you're still reading because we're going to talk about what they say when they're done. Scene 1, action. Tomorrow what we're going to talk about. It's crazy to me to think that these 3 crazy ladies could go to a grown man and say, this is going to happen. He's going to say, okay, I believe you. Because who does that? But we're going to talk tomorrow about some horoscopes. We're going to read some horoscopes in here. If you're into horoscopes, wonderful. If you're not, you'll have to bear with me for a little bit. And we're going to talk about how does that relate to prophecy? How does that relate to Macbeth? And how does Macbeth go so crazy with these crazy ladies? We are done for today. Writer's notebooks in the bin. I got old writer's notebooks coming back to you. Excellent work in here.